Hey everyone, welcome back. You know mental health and well-being? That's what we're diving deep into today.
Super important.
Yeah. And we're going to be looking at a conversation from this podcast, Nurturing the Mind.
Okay.
It's a conversation with a mental health advocate named Sarah.
Sounds interesting.
It is. I was prepping for this deep dive.
Yeah.
And I was really struck by how Sarah connects mental health, not just to like happiness, but to like reaching our full potential in life.
Right.
And she's got this take on exercise that you'll want to hear.
Okay.
It's not just physical benefits.
Yeah.
It's a mental game changer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You won't believe what she says about endorphins.
I'm intrigued now.
I know, right?
So what I think is fascinating about Sarah is she gives you these really practical strategies.
Yeah.
You know, even high achievers can use them.
Totally. That's what I loved because she starts off by saying mental health isn't just fleeting emotions.
Right.
It's the bedrock of everything we do.
Everything.
Yeah.
It really is.
An experience.
Yeah. It's like, think of it like a house.
Okay.
If you don't have a strong foundation,
Yeah.
even the most beautiful structure
Right.
is vulnerable.
Yeah.
And it's the same with our mental health.
Okay, I see that.
If we're struggling with that, it's going to impact our relationships, our work, our creativity, every aspect.
Yeah.
And that's where her advice is so good.
Yes.
It gives us concrete tools to build that foundation.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the signs of mental health struggles.
Okay.
Sarah mentions persistent sadness,
Right.
feeling hopeless, intense mood swings, and like withdrawing from social activities. I mean, we might experience these from time to time.
Of course.
But Sarah says pay attention to how intense they are,
Yeah.
and how long they last.
Like if they're really intense or if it's happening all the time,
Exactly.
that's when you want to
Yeah.
take notice.
Yeah.
I think of it like that warning light on your car's dashboard.
Okay.
If it flickers on for a second, it might not be a big deal.
Right.
But if it stays on,
Yeah.
you need to get it checked out.
Right.
Sarah actually uses a different analogy.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, she compares early intervention in mental health to spotting a tiny crack in a bridge.
Interesting.
You know, if you address it immediately,
Yeah.
you prevent a catastrophic collapse later on.
That's a good point because it shows that taking care of our mental health isn't about waiting for a crisis.
Right.
It's about that proactive maintenance.
Exactly. That's exactly where she introduces this three-pronged approach
Okay.
to building a strong mind.
Yeah.
Self-care, mindfulness, and staying connected.
Okay. So I have to admit, when I first heard this, I was like,
A little skeptical.
yeah, a little skeptical.
Get it.
But she explains it
Yeah.
in a way that really flipped the script for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How so?
Well, she doesn't present them as like fluffy add-ons.
Yeah.
They're essential building blocks
Oh.
for high performance in every area of life.
That's powerful.
Right.
Yeah.
So like when she talks about self-care, she goes way beyond like bubble baths and face masks.
Okay.
She's diving into the science of sleep,
Interesting.
how it impacts our brain,
Yeah.
like our cognitive function and our emotions.
Right.
And she gives tips for improving your sleep.
Even with a busy schedule.
Yeah, even if you're super busy.
That's great.
Yeah.
So she's saying that prioritizing sleep, good food, and moving your body
Yeah.
are not indulgences.
Right.
They're essential.
Yes. And, you know, she was talking about how for driven people, self-care is like high-octane fuel for your ambition.
Oh, wow.
It's not about slowing down.
Okay.
It's about maximizing your potential.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then on exercise, I was fascinated.
Yeah, I used to think of it as purely physical,
Me too.
but she reframed it.
Totally. It's like a secret weapon
It is.
for mental well-being.
Yeah, she talks about how it triggers endorphins.
Right. Those natural mood boosters.
Yes. And she doesn't even say you have to do a specific type of exercise.
Right.
Find something you enjoy.
That's the key.
Yeah, like dancing, hiking, swimming, or even just a walk in nature.
It's about feeling alive,
Yes, feeling good.
not forcing yourself to do something you hate.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that's a theme with her.
it's that.
Personalizing these strategies
Yeah.
to fit your own needs.
I make it work for you.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay, so let's move on to mindfulness.
Okay.
She describes it as paying attention to the present moment
Okay.
without judgment. Now, I know that gets oversimplified a lot,
Yeah.
but she really explains it well.
In a way that's accessible.
Yes, she gives this example of enjoying a cup of coffee.
Oh, how's that?
So instead of like rushing through it while you're on your phone,
Right.
focus on the warmth of the mug,
Okay.
the smell, the taste.
Oh, wow.
You know?
Yeah.
And I tried it.
You did?
I was amazed by how much I was missing.
Really?
By just being in my head.
Wow. So it's about bringing your attention to the present.
Yeah.
Even if it's something small.
Yeah. And she's clear that it's not about emptying your mind.
Oh, okay.
It's about noticing your thoughts.
Okay.
Without getting carried away.
Gotcha.
She uses this analogy of watching clouds.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, you observe them.
Right.
But you don't control them.
Okay.
Or judge them.
It's a great visual.
Yeah, and it makes it less intimidating.
Totally.
More gentle.
I like that.
Okay, so the third thing she talks about is staying connected.
Okay.
Nurturing those relationships.
Yeah.
Building a sense of community.
Mm-hmm.
And she really challenges that lone wolf mentality.
Oh, the one a lot of high achievers have.
Yeah, she says connection isn't a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
It's essential fuel
Wow.
for our well-being
Yeah.
and our success.
That's interesting.
She talks about how important it is to have people that you can confide in, laugh with, and lean on when you need to.
Yeah.
But it takes effort.
It does.
You have to be intentional. It's about being present,
Yeah.
listening, offering support.
Right.
And then she brings up this point
Okay.
that I think a lot of us struggle with,
What's that?
the balance
Oh, yeah.
between staying connected
Right.
and setting boundaries.
It's tough, right?
It is, because sometimes you feel like you have to choose.
Yeah. Between being there for others and like protecting your own energy.
Exactly. And she gets that.
Yeah.
It's a process,
It is.
but she uses this analogy of a personal energy shield. I like that.
It's about being mindful of what we let in
Yeah.
and what we keep out.
Okay.
It's not about shutting people out.
Right.
It's about protecting yourself.
Yes.
So you can be your best self.
For yourself and
Yeah.
the people you care about.
Exactly. I love that analogy.
Me too. It makes boundaries feel less like saying no to others and more like saying yes to ourselves
Exactly.
for well-being.
And she gives tips.
Yeah. Like how to say no gracefully,
Yeah.
communicating clearly, and prioritizing things that give you energy.
Yes. It's not selfish.
Right.
It's care.
Exactly. And, I think it's a great reminder
Yeah.
that taking care of our mental health isn't just about us.
Right.
It creates positivity
Yeah.
that spreads to others.
To our relationships and community.
Exactly. To the world around us.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I love that.
It's powerful.
It is.
And it matters.
It does.
One thing that really stood out to me in this conversation
Yeah.
was her discussion of burnout.
Oh, yeah. It's everywhere these days.
It is, and it can sneak up on you.
Totally. You don't even realize it's happening.
Exactly. And she describes it as this chronic stress and exhaustion.
Yeah.
You feel cynical, detached, like you're just going through the motions.
Like your battery's drained.
Yeah, completely drained.
So how do you even know?
That's a good question.
If you're heading towards burnout, well, she points out a few red flags.
Okay.
Like feeling tired all the time.
Okay.
Being irritable.
Yeah.
And having trouble focusing.
Right.
She even mentions physical symptoms.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like headaches
Interesting.
and stomach problems.
I guess we don't always connect those to our mental state.
No, we often just brush them off.
Yeah, but she's saying ignoring those early signs can lead to bigger problems.
Exactly. So what can we do?
Yeah, how do you prevent it?
Well, she suggests two things.
Okay.
First, figure out what's causing it.
Okay.
Are you taking on too much?
Right?
Is your workload overwhelming? Are you neglecting your own needs?
It's about being honest with yourself.
Yeah, about what's going on.
So once you know what's causing it, then what?
Then you make a plan to address those things.
Okay.
It might involve setting boundaries,
Yeah.
delegating tasks,
Right.
or even making some bigger life changes.
You have to take action.
Yeah, you have to actually do something about it.
Yeah. But it's more than just self-care tips, right?
Yeah, she goes deeper than that.
Oh, wow.
She talks about finding things that bring you joy and making sure you're doing those things.
Well, that's good.
It's about filling your cup.
So it's not just about eliminating the bad stuff.
Right. It's also about adding in the good stuff.
Yeah, finding those things that energize you.
And those things don't have to be big.
Right.
Little things can make a difference.
Oh, like what?
Like listening to your favorite music,
Yeah.
reading a good book,
Yeah.
or just taking a walk outside.
Just taking a moment for yourself.
Exactly. Even a few minutes can help.
That's good to know.
So another thing she talks about is resilience.
Okay.
That inner strength that helps you bounce back.
When things get tough.
Yeah. And she compares it to a muscle.
Oh, I like that.
You have to work it out.
To make it stronger.
Exactly. And she gives some tips.
Okay, I'm ready.
One of them is reframing.
Reframing?
Yeah, it's about seeing challenges
Yeah.
as opportunities for growth.
Instead of threats.
Exactly. So instead of thinking, why me?
Right.
You ask, what can I learn from this?
Oh, that's a good shift.
It's about choosing to see things differently.
Okay, so you're not denying the challenge.
No, you're just looking at it from a different angle.
And she also talks about gratitude.
Oh, yes. Gratitude is so powerful.
It really is.
She says it's like an antidote
to stress and negativity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She even suggests keeping a gratitude journal.
You know, I used to think those were cheesy.
I know, right?
But I tried it.
Yeah.
And it actually made a difference.
It's amazing how much those small things can help.
It really is. And then there's self-compassion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Treating yourself with kindness.
Like you would a friend.
Exactly. Which is hard for a lot of us.
It is. We're so much harder on ourselves.
We are. And she says that inner critic
Mm-hmm.
can be really damaging.
So how do you quiet that inner critic?
Well, she says to pay attention to your self-talk
Okay.
and to choose more positive language.
So when you notice yourself being negative, you challenge it.
Exactly. Like you would if a friend was talking that way.
And it's not about making excuses.
No, it's about being understanding.
Recognizing that we're all human.
And we all make mistakes.
Yeah.
And she gives this great tip.
Oh, what is it?
Imagine a friend going through the same thing.
Okay.
What would you say to them?
Oh, that's good.
Then talk to yourself that way.
It's about giving yourself the same kindness.
That you would give to someone else.
Oh, I love that.
It's a powerful shift.
It is this whole mind-body connection thing.
Yeah.
It really makes you think.
It's so fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, like she's saying stress can show up physically.
Like headaches.
Yeah.
Stomach problems.
Even muscle tension.
Right. And we don't always realize it's connected to our mental state.
No, we just think we're getting sick or something.
Exactly. But then she talks about how taking care of our physical health
Yeah.
can actually improve our mental well-being.
It's like a two-way street.
It really is.
Our mind affects our body, and our body affects our mind.
So you got to look at the whole picture.
Right. It's not just about meditating or taking a bath.
It's about nourishing yourself.
Yeah, like with good food. Enough sleep.
And movement.
Yes. Moving your body in ways that feel good.
It's about creating a lifestyle that supports you.
On all levels.
Exactly. And paying attention to those little signs.
Yeah, like when you're feeling run down or
Irritable.
you can't focus.
Those are clues.
That something needs to change.
Yeah, you got to listen to your body
And give yourself what you need.
instead of pushing yourself too hard.
And I love how she emphasizes those small, consistent actions.
Yeah, you don't have to do everything at once.
It's not about being perfect.
Right. It's about progress.
And making those little changes that add up over time.
She uses this great analogy of a garden.
Oh, tell me about it.
You plant a seed,
Yeah.
and you don't expect a huge tree to grow overnight.
Right. It takes time.
And care.
And those small, consistent actions.
Like watering it every day.
Yeah, that's what makes it grow.
Exactly. And it's the same with our mental health.
It's those little things.
The self-care, the mindfulness,
that build up over time.
and create that sense of well-being.
Now, before we wrap up, there's one more thing I want to touch on.
Okay, what's that?
Sarah says that mental health is a journey.
Not a destination.
Right.
It's ongoing.
There are going to be ups and downs,
For sure.
challenges and setbacks.
That's just part of life.
And we don't have to go through it alone.
No, we need support.
From therapists, counselors, support groups.
Even friends and family.
It's about having people who care.
And knowing that it's okay to ask for help.
Exactly. So as we finish up this deep dive,
Yeah.
what's one question we can leave our listeners with?
How about this? How can understanding your own mental health needs help you support the people you care about?
That's a good one, because when we take care of ourselves, we're better able to show up for others,
To be there for them.
to offer support and compassion.
And create that ripple effect.
So to our listeners, keep learning, keep growing.
And keep prioritizing your mental well-being.
You're not alone on this journey.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
We'll see you next time.